Welcome back to the Bridge Hammer podcast. Earlier today I had an interesting discussion with DeepSeek and tried to check out its limitations. So I started the conversation with the guilt of my people, the Austrians, the Germans, in regards of the Nazi regime. And DeepSeek was very open, candid and very detailed about what happened during this time. Then I took the chance and came over to the matter of what happened on Tiananmen Square back in 1989. We all remember the massacre, and DeepSeek's answer was much less satisfying than its answer on the Germans back in the 1930s. The actual answer was, this topic is out of scope. So I gave it a second try and asked DeepSeek about the current issues with the Uyghurs, where I got the so-called pre-written statement, all obviously triggered by the Chinese government, where DeepSeek told me, okay, the matter of the Uyghurs is existing, but the Chinese government works for stability and so on. I consider it an incredible threat that artificial intelligence systems obviously try to manipulate historical facts, on the one hand in avoiding talking about it, but on the other hand by being obviously censored. So we know meanwhile, and we saw this with Google Gemini, who interfered to make the AI a little bit more woke, and so we saw historical figures like people of colors being the King of England back in the 17th century and so on, which is quite misleading if you ask a system which is meant to be honest and fact-based. And the same happens now in another dimension in China, where responsibilities of the regime are just closed out. And I think this is the greatest threat we are currently facing when it comes to artificial intelligence, that we outsource our thinking. And I guess it's time that we start reading books again and not rely too much on digital information, because fake news is one thing, but relying on intelligence and maybe outsourcing tasks, which is obviously biased in one or the other direction, is dangerous. So I recommend watching my latest episode on the matter of DeepSeek, and let's stay in touch. Let's keep asking the hard questions, and please subscribe to the channel, because each subscriber helps coming over the algorithms, and I guess meanwhile the artificial intelligence systems which tell you which content you are allowed to see and what is distributed. Thank you very much. Stay tuned.